Final video.
Whew. Okay, so where are we? I've been working on the mapping on the computer because yes, it was. This computer is acting completely different to the original Bocar 34 millimeter. This 39 was acting a little different, so I did have to change a lot of things over here. I had to add more vacuum on the very high-end RPM range, otherwise the cursor will fall off and your engine will just stall at high RPM. And you go, what the fuck? Well, you need to add more vacuum numbers up to 100 and you shouldn't stall. Anyways, because this one only goes up to 94 and then that was it. But this bigger carburetor is going to flow more air, so I think the cursor is probably going to go to like 96, 98, somewhere in there, close to 100 on the vacuum scale. So we've got that done. And as far as this carburetor, oh my goodness gracious, this is the 39 millimeter PICT3 carburetor, which is bone stock. No Venturi. We went ahead and remove it. If you haven't seen those videos, I would suggest you go back and watch those. Otherwise, you have no idea what we did. But basically, we've got a new carburetor, bigger throttle. We have a bigger runner going down that matches this one, 39 millimeters. So it's 39 millimeters down. And then it's 36 and a half more or less on the bottom runners that go to the end cast. Everything's the same. Nothing really different from when we were running the bone stock Bocar with no Venturi, which is 34 millimeters. So we went from 34 to 39. Okay, so what have we done to this so far? We're just gonna go round down on what we've done. Air filter, oil bath. It's still an oil bath. Okay, so basically what we did to this, we cut the snout, which was about yay long, little tiny hole, wasn't gonna flow enough air for this engine. This is a 2234 or 2.2 liter engine, which is big. It's got a FK42 cam, okay? It's got mofo heads, 042 mofo heads. They've been ported, they've been unshrouded, the valves have been enshrouded, so it's capable of flowing, you know, for 140 horses. But this first, let's go with this first. This is what it looks like inside. Yeah, I smashed it in so that air would not have trouble, you know, feeding the engine. Nothing, no mods on this. Going back. Went ahead and installed a 39 millimeter carburetor, which you can get. Just Google it, you should be able to find it. 39 millimeter. We also installed an intake manifold that goes down 39 millimeters right here. I have to make the bracket out of steel. I think it's a 1/8 inch steel. I'm not really too sure. It might be 1/4 inch. Haven't measured it. Yeah, it looks like 1/4 inch maybe. Okay, so I made the thing, I cut the hole, I drilled the holes, I cut the shape to it, and then we welded it onto the pipe. The runner on the bottom has been increased. The bottom one used to run, the stock one used to run at 32 millimeters. This is currently 36 and a half millimeters. So we went from tiny little hole runner feeding your 2 cylinders on each side, yay big, now we're yay big. These end casts are slingshot. You need to see the previous video. Not gonna explain that. Okay, so carburetor, we did remove the Venturi, okay? Because this carburetor is so big, it actually has, like, the Venturi is kind of like still there, but it's cast in the actual carburetor itself. So you don't have to modify anything. You don't have to grind or anything. No Dremel tool needed. Just remove the Venturi if you're running a big engine, and then you should have enough of a Venturi still built into the carburetor. As far as the choke, I was not able to use the butterfly, the little thingy that works in there, so I just went ahead and removed it. In order to make it work, you need to drill holes on top of the plate. Let me show you the plate real quick. There it is. Okay, I do not require this because I live in Bakersfield. The coldest it ever gets here in the winters is like 57. Okay, so we never have a problem with the choke problem. I still have that little steppy thingy that opens up the throttle like the choke. Okay, so we didn't touch anything there. Everything's normal right there. If you live in cold climates, you're gonna have to drill a hole at the very, very tippy top. You know, the very top end, which is this side, a hole of a certain size that is basically to your engine likings. So you're gonna have to experiment how big that hole has to be there. My problem was that I was running really, really rich, and basically I was getting black smoke, okay? And I couldn't get rid of it no matter what I did, no matter how much I adjusted the adjustment over here, I couldn't get rid of the black smoke, okay? So this is because this engine requires a lot of air, and this actually is literally choking. It is a choke, but it's literally choking a huge engine. For a small engine, it wouldn't be a problem, but big engine, yes. So you would have to make a big hole right here. How big? I do not know. It didn't go there. Not gonna go there. That is for you to find out. But that's how you would fix if you wanna have a functional 100% choke. I don't need it, but I still have the choke effect. It's still, you know, this thing still opens up my throttle when the engine is cold, and as it warms up, it starts, you know, going down, 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 down until it goes to idle. As far as the jets, I'll put the jets down there. If you have an engine that's between the 1600 and this 2234 cc, you just kind of guesstimate on the jet sizes using those two sizes, the small size and the big size engine. You kind of figure it out. It's common sense. It's cognitive. You can do that. It's no big deal. Anybody can do that. Very important. If you're not getting the power that you're missing, it's generally going to be right here. Your pump. It's going to be right there. That screw right there, that's normally over here, but it's back here. You're going to need to raise it up, okay? Like far up the screw on this little adjuster thing, okay? So that you get your acceleration. And that's pretty much all I did to show you. I do not have the choke, see? The plate is not there, okay? I'm running without it. Like I said, this is Bakersfield, I don't need it. If you live in another part of the country that's really, really cold, you're gonna need that. So you're gonna have to figure out how big to make the hole right there. Not down here where it's flat, up here where it's round, right somewhere in there. Let's go for our first drive and see what it does. Okay, first impression. She's driving really, really nice. Very responsive. Very responsive. Okay, she's green. Okay, here we go. Okay. We are running very weak. Okay, second try. Let's see. Need to adjust my idle. Okay, we got a green light. All right, here we go. Woo! Oh yeah! I felt the difference. There was a humongous difference. Okay. There you go. 141. Woo! Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, moving on. And with that, this brings our project to an end. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the graph on the dyno pulls, the 34 pict 3, the small carburetor, stock one, And I'm going to show you the bigger 39 millimeter. I'm going to superimpose them, and you'll see the difference. Now, on the 39 millimeter, you're going to see that it actually goes further out. It's because I opened it up to 6,200 RPMs versus the 34. I had it governed at 6,000 RPMs. So one of them 6,000 RPMs, the other one's 6,200. So there you go. That's the reason it's like that. So I know I can do more tuning on the jets. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I want to get an O2 sensor so that way I can really dial it in and really. I'm thinking this thing might be capable of maybe 145. I think I could probably squeeze out another 5 horses out of this thing and more torque. I just need an O2 sensor to see what the hell I'm doing. So I talked to my son about it, and he says, I might do that. And, it's almost $200 for an O2 sensor. So there you go. Yep, that is it. Oh, yeah, I accidentally left the ignition on because I was messing around with the map, and I forgot to turn off the key, and I killed the battery. Damn it. It's a win-lose kind of thing, but it's 141, baby. 141. So you guys that are running like Baja bugs and you want to keep it stockish, doesn't get any more stockish than this. Let me get more light in there. There you go. Doesn't get more stockish than this. Okay, this looks like a bone stock engine. Okay, Baja bugs, obviously you're gonna have exhaust system coming out, kind of up high and shit like that. You don't have this end right here, so it's a lot easier to work with. Yeah, but out of a 1600, you're not gonna get much power out of it with a Baja bug, or anything really. 1600, you could probably get maybe 70 if you put a cam in it, but stock heads, no cam, everything stock, it ain't gonna flow. You ain't gonna make power. You need new heads, maybe some panchitos, and that's the name of the heads. Panchitos, something to equivalent to FK42 cam, probably a W110. A lot of guys do that. I know. Webb has a grind that's actually pretty good for this kind of modification. I wouldn't know what number that is. I think it's 86A. I'm not too sure, but yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to make it really make power. But if you have a 1600 and you get the panchitos, maybe a good cam, and probably not the 39. That's probably too big. You get the 37 millimeter carburetor. Because there's a 37 version of this. Okay, there's a 34, which is bone stock, and then there's a 37, and this is a 39. Okay, so you get a 37 for that. You modify it also. You don't remove the Venturi, just open it up a little bit, and you should probably make 100 ponies. For a Baja bug, yeehaw, or any other bug actually, because the big tires on the Baja bug, that's going to kill a lot of power. A lot of power. You're going to lose it right there on the big tires. And, but yeah, this is a 2234. That's a 2.2 liter. It is a fun thing to drive. This thing brings a smile to anybody's face. Anybody's face. It's a blast, because it only weighs 1,800 pounds and, 141 horses. Doesn't sound like much, I know. You're used to hearing 300 coming out of that WRX or, that JDM or whatever. But I'm telling you, weight to power ratio, these things don't weigh much. So 140 makes a huge difference in the weight to power ratio category. Okay, I'm moving on. Later, guys. I los guacho. So check this out. Okay, so on my IDFs on the Porsche engine 2056 cc, I was able to get 29.8. We'll just call it 30 miles actually, because I did do a lot of pulls and jackrabbit starts. But I basically drove the car, 75 to 80, but kept it more or less around 75 and 70 miles per hour on the freeway. So, and I was able to get 29.82 miles per gallon. Whoa! Wow. I'm going to call it 30 because I know that if I don't do jackrabbit starts, I can get to 30. But over here, it's actually 28.5. Okay. Here, I did a shitload of jackrabbit starts and just drove it like I stole it. And basically, at one point, one whole day, I think I drove it 90 plus miles an hour. Like, I think I broke a buck. Okay. For very long distances. Like I was actually like several miles close to a buck. And I still got 28.5 miles to the gallon on one day, both going and coming to work. I was able to still say, what? What? I can't believe I got 28 miles to the gallon, even though I was driving like a bat out of hell. Okay. Yeah. If I get these tuned, I should be able to get really good gas mileage on that sucker. Hopefully. Probably not because it's got a huge cam, but you never know. This has a stock cam, dual carburetors, and it pulls pretty darn good. It's not as good as that, though. That one, oh my God, that one's fast. This one only makes 109, okay? 109, but still, it's fun. It's fun, whatever. But I made, with these 44 IDS carburetors, I made 30 miles to the gallon. What? Then I drove like a bat out of hell, 28.5. You know, what? Okay, I'm going away now for good. Bye.